What's up, everyone? I haven't seen you guys in a long time. So yeah, I haven't been buying very many records. It's just not really in the funds, unfortunately. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. Plus, my record collection is actually in storage right now. As you can tell from my location, I'm not in any normal home. Right now, my family is moving, and so we're in between houses right now because the new one's not built. And so we're renting out a place, and this is where we're at. So, like I said, all my records are in storage. So this splurge I went on today might have been kind of maybe to fill the void of just a complete absence of records. But yeah, this is what I came back with, and yeah, as good as that may look, it was also, it wasn't too expensive. It's probably a little less money than you'd expect, but I'm very happy with these pickups, and I'm sure you'll see why. We'll start off here. This is just a staple that I don't have, that I'm not sure why I don't have, but In the Land of Grey and Pink by Caravan, just an absolute must for the whole Canterbury Prague scene from the 60s and 70s. So yeah, this is a great album. It kind of fills the cliche of early prog rock and stuff, but regardless, just a great album to have. If you haven't heard this one, this is just too good. It's hard not to like. Plus, I really love, this is an original copy, so I really love the texture of this. I feel like that doesn't come around as often as it should nowadays. It's kind of hard. It's kind of like that cardboardy type feel, which I really like for some reason, more so than this type of material. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But not to say this isn't a good album. I saw this, it was only like $20, but Rare and Classic Funk from 68 to 77. That was enough to sell it to me. I'm not entirely sure. It's 180 gram vinyl, and it was pressed in, I believe, 2007. Yeah, and it's 2 records worth of stuff that I've never heard of. Maybe you guys have heard of some of this stuff, but Smithsonian 87th off Broadway, The Diplomats, The Eternal Flames, Miles Grayson, The Uniques. No idea, but I tend to find that the best funk music I've never heard of, so I'm very excited to play that. That's the other thing, I don't have my turntable. It's absolutely killing me. Alright. Okay, these I'm excited about. I found a sealed, still in the shrink wrap copy of Grand Funk's Shinin' On. I already tore it out of the shrink wrap. Sorry. Here, I can find it somewhere. Where did I put it? Shrink wrap. Yeah. It was like $5. It's got the little 3D glasses. It's got the poster and everything. The 3D poster. It's so funny because it's like the 1974 3D. Check that out. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm very happy to have that. My dad was excited to see that I bought this. Brought some memories back, but yeah, he was specifically intrigued by, maybe some of you guys will find this interesting. I know I don't necessarily get anything out of this, but this is a Montgomery Ward sticker, which I guess was at a department store where people bought records, and so it's kind of neat to see that this was originally there, never opened, and then resold. So yeah, this is a great album. I don't know, I'm sure you guys have heard this. It's a staple. So yeah, just some great stuff. And then right next to it, I kind of couldn't help myself, but that album came out in 1974. This came out in 1975, which is a live album called Caught in the Act. Yeah, and it's got Shinin' On, and it's got Some Kind of Wonderful, and it's got Locomotion on it. That's when Locomotion came out. That's kind of when I start to lose these guys. But Grand Funk is super cool. What a great band. So I didn't have any of that, and it's going to be some stuff I'm going to want to throw on, especially while I'm in college. Another one that I had not heard of that I bought for $1 is this Soulful Strut. You can tell that I'm into this soul funk kick right now, but I've been listening to a lot of Thievery Corporation and like Grammatic, which is just some funk and soul inspired electronic music, and I've been kind of trying to find their influences and go back and listen to it. So whenever I see these random soul funk albums, I'm kind of all over it. So this is great because I didn't know what this was, and I brought it home, and I looked it up on YouTube, and oh my goodness, this is so good. Let's look up the song "Soulful Strut," Young Holden Limited. I mean, it's really cool. I love it. So yeah, that's awesome. All right. See, get into some new stuff here. I picked this up. This is LP. I don't know if you guys have heard of her. This came out this year, or maybe it was last. No, this came out last year. It's a little live at East West Studios, but it's like a live EP of I think it's got 5 original songs, and then it's got 6 original songs, and then a studio version of one of the songs. And this she's gonna be something. She's gonna be big. She's written songs for some famous artists. I couldn't name drop those for you, but if you do some research, you'll find that she's written like popular songs for other artists. And this is her finally stepping out and making her own music. She kind of looks like Bob Dylan. I don't know if you guys get that, but she's got an incredible voice. I saw her at Firefly, and it was unbelievable. She was so good. I had heard about her beforehand, so I was very excited to see her. Just look up the song "Into the Wild," and you'll quickly understand what I'm talking about. It's very, very simple music, very, very simple pop music, but her voice is to die for, and that's the reason alone that I'm pretty much into this so much. It's just for her voice, and some great melodies. So check her out. Definitely worth it. I think I'm very ahead of the ball, ahead of the curve on that one. So yeah. This one a lot of people have shown in the past few months. This is the Things Fall Apart reissue from Record Store Day by The Roots. So I don't need to get into that too much, but other than to say I'm very, very excited to have this. So this is now my second Roots album on vinyl. I'm a huge Roots fan. I love it all, but I've only got this and How I Got Over. I'm pretty sure Undone is really hard to find. I haven't looked too much, but I remember when I did look, it was some absurd price on eBay or something. So yeah, I mean, The Roots are just fantastic. One of my most favorite hip-hop projects of them all. Speaking of hip-hop, this is, if any of you are aware of this album and its existence, I Want to Talk to You. This is Black Milk's Synth or Soul, which is just, I've been a Black Milk fan for a good while. He's a hip-hop MC/producer, and this is all instrumental, and the first side is all synth electronic based beats, and the second side is all soul samples and stuff, and oh my goodness, I could not believe when I saw this sealed up in the shop. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, and so I bought it. I thought I had already picked out all my stuff, but yep, this went right into the pile. Pretty good price, just great. And so I've checked this out. It only kept getting better. Hang on. Probably can't tell, but it's a yellow kind of marble vinyl. Yeah, but I was so happy to see this. I'm so happy that I have this. Never thought I would have this. Because it's just one of those albums that I feel like you would never exactly click to add to cart online, just because it would always kind of get the short end of the stick. To other albums, it would lose out to other albums or whatever that you wanted more. So I feel like this was just perfect. It was just meant to be, and I was meant to have this. The cashier was so jealous that she didn't even know that they had this, and she was very upset that I was taking the last copy. So yeah, awesome. Okay, this one I'm very excited about too. Yeah, okay, this is probably my favorite Beach Boys compilation out there. I was having a little argument with my dad actually about he likes Endless Summer better, but I think this is good. I mean, I'm very anti compilation, like anti greatest hits, because it's just, I mean, for obvious reasons. Like, I want to hear the album, that the artist really wanted you to hear. But the Beach Boys, they weren't really making albums. It was just kind of the record label saying, okay, make more, make more, make more, make more songs, and a lot of it was just filler. So when I hear this, it's almost as if like this is kind of what their albums would have been like if they were growing up in today's musical climate. You know, kind of weed out all the bullshit, you know, all the bad filler stuff, and this is probably similar to, you know, it's almost like it's up there with like Pet Sounds, you know, it's just pretty much almost as good, and that's my spiel on the Beach Boys. It's just they came out with some good albums, or a good album, and then the rest of it was just kind of okay, a couple good hits and the rest filler. And it's all very samey until you hear these, which are just, you know, hit after hit after hit, and that's the way I feel like I like to listen to the Beach Boys. That's how I grew up listening to the Beach Boys. So they are kind of the one exception ever where I'd rather listen to a compilation of their hits, you know, rather than an album. So let me know your thoughts on that one, because that's kind of an interesting point that I usually have a good feud with Beach Boys fans on that point. So, okay, this is cool. My friend pulled this out. I didn't even see it. It's only $3, but this is Black Star, Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Just a couple. I think it's just 2 songs. Yeah, it's Definition and Twice in a Lifetime. But it was cheap, and I need to work up my hip hop collection. So I thought this was a really cool pickup. You don't see. I feel like you don't see Black Star albums on vinyl very often, so, I mean, even though it's not an album, it's still kind of a cool thing to have, definitely for, like, the underground hip-hop side of my collection. And then, we got 2 more. This was a big surprise. The shop that I was in, I went to 2 different ones, and the one that I was in when I found this is mostly used stuff, so I was very happy to find this modern album for brand new for $8. This is Swan Lake's Enemy Mine, and Swan Lake is a supergroup between James Mercer, Dan Behar, and the guy from Sunset Rubdown. Here, let me look up the names real quick, because I don't want to mess that up and make a fool of myself. So hang on a second. Yeah, I really don't want to mess this up. I know it's Dan. I know Dan Behar's in it. He's fantastic. Okay, let's see. James Mercer might not even be in it. I could have just completely made that up. Oh, it's Carrie Mercer. Okay, so that's why I messed that up. Carrie Mercer of Frog Eyes, Dan Behar, who's in Destroyer, if you guys don't know, and who? Spencer Krug of Wolf Parade and Sunset Rubdown. Yeah, right. Okay, so it's not Dave. It's not James Mercer. Carrie Mercer. My bad. Wrong Mercer. But yeah, this is just kind of an interesting collection of just some somewhat generic indie folk rock. Some dream pop influence in there. I hate labels so much, but it's good. I originally heard this from the Needle Drop when he was talking about how horrible of an album cover this is, because I guess because of the scale of everything is so poorly portrayed. As you can see, like, this woman is just as big as everybody else, and the table seems to come up right to these 2 women's chest. Yeah, so I remember him talking about it. He mentioned that I thought this was funny. He mentioned that the back is more interesting than the front. But there's some good songs on here. I remember this big rant, and I thought it was really funny, and so I checked it out, and there were actually some great songs on it. Check out the song Heart Swarm. That's what got me into this. Just some very, very catchy writing, and they all have very interesting voices. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Dan Behar and the guy from Sunset Rubdown, very, very interesting voices that are pretty out there for just pop music. So yeah, this is a great, great release. I could not believe it was sealed for $8. So needless to say, perfect condition. I picked it right up. And okay, last but not least, absolute classic. Boom. Heavy Weather Report. I don't know who doesn't have this, but if you don't have it, you should have it, because it's awesome. I mean, if you don't want to hear yourself some Birdland, then there's something wrong with you. But obviously, there's some just absolute classic songs on here. This is an experience of an album. My uncle is a huge Weather Report fan, and this is his least favorite album, probably just because he's an old hipster. But it's a great album, a great band. It's just so much fun to listen to these guys play. There's nothing better than when you just get these extremely technical musicians in a room and with a similar vision, and that just comes out with something perfect. So, very happy to have this. My first Weather Report album. Yeah, cool. So those are the pickups, guys. I'm pretty happy. I think I did pretty well for not. I spent a good chunk of change, but nothing crazy. Probably less than you'd expect. So very happy. It was a good mix of new and old. I got some classic funk stuff in there. I'm happy. I can't wait to go to school. I'm finally gonna have an off-campus, apartment, and so I can bring my records and my turntable, and when people come over, I'm putting on these classic old funk things, because that's the cool thing to do. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and sorry it's been so long. I'd like to say that there's going to be more videos soon, but I don't know. I just don't know. So I hope you watch this. I'm sorry there's no cool backdrop or anything to look at. I hope my dialogue is interesting enough for you guys to make it all the way to this point in the video. So keep on keeping on. I'm always watching you guys, and I continue to love it. So take care. Nice seeing you, and yeah, peace.